There'd be public safety. Monday, March 9th at 5:04. Sure. Okay, the public meeting, okay, January 12th minutes. Is that stuff in the sentence?
Yes, isn't that? Make a motion to approve the minutes from last time's meeting.
First,
I'll second that meeting. Motion.
first and second, any other discussion? Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. So there, we'll move on to public comment, on agenda items, 2 minutes per person, 14 minutes per topic. Anybody in here want to?
I do. Do I have to stand?
Nope.
No.
Good.
Just name and where your address, sir.
My name is Mick Askey, 228 Folsom Drive. And my comments are about the golf cart. As you can see, I'm handicapped. I can't walk around the block like most people. And in doing so, I have grandchildren living in the area with us there. And I like to take them for a ride now and then, just out around the circle and bring them back. And it helps me be closer to them and everything else. I do have lights on it. I do have a horn on it. I do have everything that is road drivable. It doesn't go 90 miles an hour, but we don't need to do that. So I see a lot of ATVs out here. And yes, they go faster than I do, but I have the same equipment that they do. So I'm asking you to approve it. You know, so that I can enjoy myself and everything else. In our area, there's probably 3 other people that do the same thing, that have them. And 2 others have a handicapped person that they cater to and let him ride so he can enjoy himself. We also have a young man who's handicapped and he likes getting over there and tooting on Pappy's horn and everything else. And so I'm asking you to approve it. That's my statement.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do you have anything? No. Anybody else? No. All right. Is there nobody online or anything?
Yeah, not seeing any.
Nothing? Okay. So we'll close public comment. We'll move on to unfinished business, discuss possible recommendation proposal amendments to liquor ordinances.
So Jessica has included her, I think Jessica brought this forward, right? Jessica.
Yeah, a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of been on here for a while.
Yeah.
I have read through them. I still have a couple of hesitations on them, but, I have to double check my notes that I left at home. But I still think we need a process before we just change ordinances.
Process to apply for the license.
A process on how you apply for licenses and a process on how we manage the licenses. And then
No, that's from moving from here forward.
at some point, I mean, I I still don't know if we just jump right in and start changing ordinances. And some of them are fine, like it moves from village treasurer to village clerk, which I get, that means it comes off of Andrea's plate and goes to
Sure.
Jessica's. But until we have a full process of how we properly want to issue our liquor licenses, I don't know if we should be changing ordinances.
Right. And I know you did draft a policy that I really like. Should we discuss that as well?
I didn't bring any copies of it. I did ask to have it be put on an agenda. It didn't make it onto an agenda.
Well, to me, that's all under the same,
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think nobody printed what I did.
amendments to liquor ordinances.
But I do think that there's some finessing we could do to what I laid out. I don't know.
Sure.
Okay, but
So, so we want this to go, just table as well?
I would propose tabling it again until we have an actual process laid out where we can say, we have to follow this process to issue them, you know, like we need you to come in with your business plan, your space layout, all these things, whatever we need you to bring
Mhm.
in order to get that license. And you know, are you open 12 months out of the year or just on 1 month out of the, you know, like
Sure.
little things that I think we want to.
So then this will be included as well within that? I'm
fine with
assuming,
that, Sure.
yeah,
With the seasonal stuff that Chris is doing?
yes.
Yes,
That's just kind of a rough draft that would save us from having
Sure.
2 licenses
Right,
that are only used half the year.
yeah,
So
absolutely,
it's certainly something to discuss.
yeah.
yep,
I mean, it would
absolutely. And-
definitely work out, I think, for some, I mean, that are open during the summer and maybe not the winter,
Right,
so.
exactly. And that would require an agreement between the businesses.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I don't know how is that? I mean, when you looked into it, I guess this is the first time I really actually looked at that,
Right.
but,
So basically the first, like, let's say the summer business could conditionally surrender their license when they
okay,
close
okay.
on the condition that it's issued to the next business. So it's not transferred, it's surrendered and then issued to that second business.
But then. Sorry, but then who would issue that? Then would it be the clerk? Is that written in the ordinance?
The board.
Okay, so the ordinance that you put forward, I didn't get a chance to read through it all.
Right,
Yeah.
I think I just wrote the village board. I don't know that
So then it would go to the board then for approval for reissue?
yeah, exactly.
Which means it would have to be timing appropriate.
Yep.
So we'd have to make sure that they get them in, because we wouldn't want to delay that.
Absolutely.
And have to go like a month without that.
Right, and that's something we can discuss, because if they sign the agreement towards the beginning of the year, then maybe we could allow the clerk to just issue it to the second business. But that's something we'd all have to agree on first.
Sure,
You want her to repeat that, Donnie? Because you seem like you're,
What?
did you want her to repeat that?
I got it.
Okay,
I got it.
sorry.
so I will make a motion to table this till the next meeting for more,
More process, because it looks like Chris has a lot of process steps in here
Yeah.
also. With,
Yeah.
with like, you know, successor submits a complete license, municipal review, so she's got some steps in here too that I think we should combine them all into a overall document and then
Yeah.
review all of that and make sure it makes some sense. And then we can move into ordinance updates.
so we'll get the process first and then we'll worry about the ordinance after.
I think so.
Okay.
Does anyone else agree?
That makes
I
sense.
agree.
Okay.
Can we try to discuss this all at the next meeting, or we're gonna break that?
I think so. I think we should still discuss everything, right?
Yep,
I
Get
mean,
the process done first.
yeah,
And that makes sense, yeah.
for sure.
So let's.
So are we gonna have time?
before we have to approve all the liquor.
That's all my only question, because I don't know what new to this, so I was gonna look up. Joel, in the past, what is your timeframe been? Is it by May 1?
I
Or,
just know I get a bunch of them at a certain time of year.
Yeah,
To
they're
do
coming up.
backgrounds. Yeah, so, yeah, maybe it is May.
It is May.
Yeah.
Is it May?
So that they can be approved.
Okay.
The full.
So if you looked at it in April, then May would be fine.
Mhm.
Okay. So I just wanna make sure that we're not gonna issue them and then have to reissue them because we changed the ordinance, you see what I mean?
Right.
Sure.
I think if we do change the ordinances, it would probably be for the next year's review.
I think so
I
too.
think so.
I think you're.
If we don't make the timeline, which would be sad, but it would be nice to get everyone into the correct liquor licenses too, because I think Becky has the wrong one at Apple River Liquor, and so just making sure everyone has the right ones.
Right, and that's in, what Jessica put forth is that we have a local, quota that maybe we should abolish, if you ask me. But that's something to discuss,
I'm in favor of that too.
okay? So, yeah, and we'll also want to look at what we're doing so far, our current
You're
application.
talking like the B licenses, right? Or the,
No, that one is, so the B is federally regulated.
The B
I'm sorry, by
is-
state
okay,
regulated,
okay.
yes, but the A is of our
yeah,
extra.
okay.
Mhm.
A is ours, that we can
I was
decide.
gonna say, I was gonna say, because one of them, I know we can't really, this is,
Yeah.
that's what we're.
Yep, one is
We're bound.
mandated by the state, one is kind of more locally.
Yes.
Okay, so just keep doing work on that, and then let's look at the application as it is and maybe update that with including what you have.
Possibly, yeah. Okay,
We'll do that.
We don't want to make it too lengthy of a process either for the applicants.
We'll table it for this month. We put it on for next month.
means we have prep work to do for next month, all of us.
Okay.
I'm sorry, is there a second to your motion, Chris?
I'll second it.
Yes, you're right. First and a second.
Yes.
Thank you.
He made the motion, I'll second it.
First and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right. New business. Discuss possible recommendation temporary Class B wine and Class B beer application Somerset Lions Club for Peace Soup Days. This is what's kind of what they put forward, mostly every time.
Make a motion to approve?
Yeah. I'll second.
Okay.
First and second on the table. Did you have anything?
I'm just double checking. This is what I read in my email.
Yes.
A little early in the year, but that's great.
They came in early, I like this.
No. Okay, first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We didn't have any other, nothing else? Okay. All right, we'll move on to, discuss possible recommendations, street use permit, Somerset Lions Club, Peace Soup Days. Oh, it's the same one, isn't it?
Yeah, I can, I'd like to chime in here a little bit. So last year I was working with, the Lions Club to kind of try to maybe see if an alternative route could be used. There's some construction going on in the auditorium behind the school. We're working on getting permission from the school district to use the school district as a detour while the parade route was going on. Essentially that kind of fizzled out and it went nowhere. We kept the same route. At the same time, we also talked about better signage, like for example, we require Live Nation and Somerset Amphitheater to put up advanced signage that says like, detour ahead or parade on Saturday. To kind of help warn people ahead of time, that, there is gonna be a major disruption to the flow of traffic. That's something I brought forward to the Lions Club and they said, okay, well, next year we'll look at that. Okay, well, now we're at next year, right? One of the big topics of conversation at some of these, different regional trainings and meetings I've been going to is, safety and especially parade safety, post, you look at the Waukesha Christmas parade on the southeast side of the state, where a vehicle drove through. You also look at, New Orleans, that was a clear terrorist attack though, in a little edge case. Recently, we had a meeting in River Falls where we looked at meridian barriers. So it's essentially a trailer of physical barricades that would be put across the road to kind of prevent people. And I was like, well, this might be a good thing for Live Nation to use, especially on site. The problem is they're close to $130,000 per
For one?
trailer, for one.
For one
road.
trailer,
Yeah,
but how many's on a trailer?
so it's enough to cover a 24 section of
Okay.
road. So that'd be like, so then we talked about doing some type of cooperative purchase with all the agencies in St. Clair County. And then we're looking at all our dates of our town festivals and it just. I'm taking the position where I'd rather have like Public Works and the fire department, you know, parks and apparatus across major roads. Maybe even bring in some mutual aids from other agencies to shore up some of the other intersections. And I think our return on investment would be, you know, much better that way than trying to invest in $130,000. Well, it'd be well over three thousand.
But if you guys looked at it from a county standpoint or from a couple municipalities,
Mhm.
you know, say us and a couple other towns went in and bought some,
Right,
then they each could use them.
correct.
Unless it was like a county level, then
Yeah.
everyone could use it, but now you're saying you'd like to do it a little cheaper by bringing in other agencies and the fire department to help block off traffic, right?
So I'm saying like scrapping the meridian barrier idea, just.
Unless we can get people to buy in with it.
Right, and then we also looked at some grants, some emergency management, grants,
Yep,
even if it was owned by emergency management, then the question like, well, who owns it, where's it stored,
Yeah.
who sets them up?
yeah, that I was gonna go there next. All those
Yeah, so
questions.
the logistics, you know, at the end of the day, it just turned into like, you know what, maybe we should just shore up. I mean, we don't have a lot of infrastructure to cover, but we do have more than our police officers can handle.
Mhm.
So typically, the fire department does help with a couple intersections. I know a couple other municipalities have like people from the Lions Club or their chamber or the community, whoever's putting on the event will be volunteers to kind of help maybe observe intersections, coordinate with law enforcement. That's just something that we've been simply lacking here with our Lions Club. And, you know, I noticed that, you know, on the back of the street use permit, you know, under denial D6, you know, the last sentence. If the village board concludes that the health, safety and general welfare of the public cannot adequately protect and maintain. That would be a reason to deny the permit. I'm not saying we're at that point yet, but I'm saying like, it'd be nice to have some help and coordination from the Lions Club if they're asking for this and they want.
What if the only help they can give is money?
Money?
I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, what if they physically can't help and then
Yeah.
they'd have to be like, well, we'll have to pay.
So currently I'm looking at around like $1,000 of OT, bringing in officers.
Okay, so you'd be okay if we could get some extra money.
Yeah, we don't get any money,
Okay.
which is fine. It's a community event. You know, the sheriff's department comes in for free. We usually get two of their folks to help. But, you know, the time to put up the signs, no parking signs ahead of time, like there was discussion about them doing that. And I go to other community events and I see a lot of those volunteers like doing stuff like that, like. So the question is, I feel like I need to get in touch with the Lions Club, try to get something more concrete. You know, also like, so the kitty parade that they have here on that Sunday. That was straight up unsafe last year. It wasn't staffed enough. We had vehicles driving, you know, at the parade. I feel like that, it's not listed here on the map, but they end up like using Spring Street, which I felt like, may have deviated from the route. But.
So it
So,
was supposed to be on HUD, I think, because I was watching for it since I had scooters for my nephews and it sort of fizzled and
yeah,
I didn't, there's no signage, there was.
right. So, and that's to my point of like, you know, like, I feel like the organization could be a little better, the signage could be better, and we should get on the same page, especially if we're gonna try to stop traffic to make it safe for kids to participate, in addition to the Saturday period.
That sounds like we should not approve this until we have a few more discussions about it with them on some of these safety topics.
But I mean, I feel like we should also, you know, hold different organizations to the same standards too, if we're requiring other companies to order signage or pay for it. But I get the sense that it's a community event, it's a parade, you know, it's pro Somerset. And like we've eaten the costs every year. We talked about putting signs out last year. I feel like Public Works folds out these little signs coming into town.
Parade route.
Yeah, which,
Road will be closed at this time for a parade or whatever.
yeah, parade on Saturday. From
Yeah.
11 to 2.
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe a message board. You know, like one of those variable message boards that says, hey, parade route, it grabs your attention a little bit more.
You mean the ones up by the liquor store? Those like billboards like that or,
No, like a,
Oh,
like
one of
a
the-
trailer board.
yes, okay,
They're called PCMS boards.
okay.
I gave them a name to the company that, Live Nation used, and it just I felt like it fell on deaf ears. So I wanted to give my 2 cents. I feel like from a public safety perspective, this is a high liability event.
So should
So we got.
someone meet with them, you, like, with you and them
Sure.
to have like a powwow before
Yeah.
we approve this and say, there's some things we gotta work out?
I feel like Ryan was in the process of meeting with me and them last year, and that fell through the cracks. So, kind of an after action debrief of, here's our concerns, let's make this better.
Okay,
So we need to have this in by when, Joe? Well, I mean, it's not till when, June?
We got time.
we got some time, so I think,
Time.
I mean, we could put this on next month's agenda for sure, but I think in the next month, we should have a
We-
conversation. You got
We
time?
table table the,
You need to revoke your approval then.
No, we still need to approve those liquor licenses, but we just are not gonna approve that 5.
This is a street use permit.
yeah, this
This
is.
is the street use one. Right, so we approve 5A, which I think is still fine.
Yes.
It's 5B that we need to do some more work on.
Done.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My only suggestion on this would be that whatever issues you have outstanding with that permit, maybe need to be articulated. You know, through either the chief and or the committee through minutes saying, we want this address, and this address before we approve it. That way they have very clear understanding of what they need to do in order to resubmit for the board to consider approval. I understand what you guys are saying, but I heard nothing of other than, I think you said messaging board that said you felt on deaf ears, but if this committee feels strongly about that those items need to be, articulated to the petitioner so that they can clearly address those items before they resubmit their
That's what I was
application.
saying, that we should have a meeting with the police chief
Right.
and someone on this board and them.
But I hear nothing about what items need to be, done. Pardon?
Joel brought up a bunch, but
Yeah.
we do need to call them all out.
So, yeah, I mean, I have an email from June 7th of 2025. Parade debrief, areas for improvement next year.
Did you send that email?
I can send it, yeah, there's 6 things highlighted.
Okay,
No parking signage, additional parking signage needed in the following areas. Klucher Drive and Sunrise Drive up to Cedar, Depot Street. Staff and safety assign additional officers to the Main Street Depot. Intersection, ensure officers position, blah, blah, blah. Into parade management, assign a parade organizer at the end point. So for example, like this one ends at Main and Depot, and like they said they had no communication from the organizers. So the floats would say, this is in the parade, and they're like, no, it's not. It's like, yeah, it is, you know, and then there's people lined up on Depot Street. Expecting the parade to come up and they were all upset and like, I feel like the PD gets the wrath of this. You know, me in particular, when I'm out there, trying to manage the chaos and we wanna put it on, it's
Should
good.
we just get you
events.
some more flares?
Yeah, we have flares.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
But I mean, I broke this down, in a pretty neat fashion. I don't know if this needs to be included in the motion right now, but I mean, there's
Yes.
okay,
I think we should.
so just include, the 6
I haven't
parts in the email.
Yeah, I haven't seen the email yet, but I do think we should include, okay, I'll make a motion to include the things that came out of the debrief from last year that we need to discuss with the Lions Club in order to get this year's street permit approved.
Makes sense to me.
I'll second the motion.
Okay,
First and second. Any other,
So the rest of them, in parade management was number 3, 4 was volunteers, 5 is parade flow and communication, and 6 is pre-event planning, which includes, message boards by a professional third party and sign detours, road closure. Signs as well.
okay.
So people are aware of it well ahead of time.
First and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
okay.
Aye. Motion carries.
I'll be happy to meet with Chief and Lions if you want,
Okay,
and see if we can't get some understanding on those issues
sure,
and bring it back to the board.
We'll share that email with all of us too, please.
yes.
Thank you.
All right, new business C, all right, discuss use of golf cart on village streets.
So in order to do that, we do have to change ordinances, right?
That would require an ordinance change, yeah.
Or I was thinking we could update our UTV.
UTV.
But there needs to be some changes. For sure, like including a minimum speed, I think would be a good thing. Cause we can't have a golf cart going 5 miles per hour when it's 25. That could be a safety hazard. But. We also can't have them going up past Laser Drive to where it's highway.
Right,
Yeah.
so it can't be on highways, but some of the ATVs can go on highways, like. I mean, I understand in the local neighborhoods,
Mhm.
you know, but not. Yeah. Okay, so should we have Jessica pull all those ordinances and we start to look through them, or how do we wanna proceed with this? Or did you already print them, Chris?
I know, I did, I looked at them, yeah. Yeah, so our ordinance is 10-4-3, chapter 4. So, if that's a good start, but there, I think overall, the golf carts would have to be street legal, insured, and, have the same working taillights, brake lights, headlights.
Is that the one and only difference is that like an ATV is actually registered through the state, whereas a golf cart is not?
That's a good question, I'm not.
ATVs are required to be insured also.
Yep.
To a minimum of standards under state law in order to run on any of the roads.
Right.
So if you run an uninsured vehicle on a, road,
Right.
you can get fined for that. And the
Sure.
same thing with an ATV.
And there's licensing requirements with an ATV as well.
There
It's
is.
pretty regulated from the state. They do make low speed vehicles, classifications for, golf carts that would comply with a current Wisconsin state statute. And there's a federal classification and they get like a license plate. It's a bit of a process and those are typically more expensive than your typical regular golf cart. But,
I did see that there's a bunch of surrounding communities that do allow it, so we could go and look at like what Prescott, like they did. People wrote a bunch of communities that do allow it, so we can go look at their ordinances too. To see what they say, so maybe we should do that for our next meeting is. Look at some of them.
Compare and contrast, yeah.
You also need to consider, I brought 2 mobility scooters with me that had been my husband's. And they're not golf carts, but they had lights and turn signals and stuff, so you need your language to accommodate. Some other things other than simply golf carts. I don't know how you characterize it, but that's, they're mobility, you know, they're not kid toys, they're,
Right.
you know, they're big. And
But
they
they
would
don't go
go,
down, they don't go right down the road though, do they?
Not the road, but you can take one of the streets. 'cause I have
Yeah.
Yeah,
one.
you can have it on the edge, right, but not down the middle.
Right.
yeah, yeah, but they, you know, one of mine, ours would go 8 miles an hour, which I never let my husband do.
Did you lock it down to 5 miles an hour? I mean, my e-bike goes 25 miles per hour.
But I think that's covered under ADA though also.
The mobility scooters must be under ADA.
I believe that's covered under ADA. I would guess that would be where it would, there, the protection would be.
I can tell you we've been to like two, kind of serious golf cart crashes. One was at Apple River Family Campground, where a gal had to be airlifted out and, some significant facial, injuries as a juvenile. And then, the other, mostly we have experience on private property, and it's the amphitheater and campgrounds. And things happen at amphitheaters and campgrounds, but, you know, I guess. So currently, like ATVs can't go on roads that are 45 miles per hour. So Churchill Road, north of Laser, is off limits. So for your example, you're in Whispering Pines, you wouldn't be able to cross. You know what I mean?
You
Like
just have to
35.
stay in Whispering Pines, or then you could snake into Pine Cliff, but that would put you in the
Right.
town, but. I
Even
mean,
as like even as a UTV or ATV.
So you're saying I can't go across,
no,
like my Wishman Pines go across?
cross 35 the highway, probably not.
No,
That's the issue.
unless there's a carve out or exception
Nope.
in the
But
ordinance.
there's a crosswalk. And there's gonna be a trail put in going up to Whispering Pines, which you could utilize to come down, but you're right, you cannot cross,
35.
you know, over. 45 unless there's a crosswalk.
Huh,
Isn't there a crosswalk down by the carpet
Laser,
place?
There's only one crosswalk across 35 and that's by the car wash.
Yeah, right by
Yeah.
Mike's Carpeting. That's the one I was thinking of. And then the one by the church. So those are the only two, I think, that are,
And I think there is one by the church too now.
and then by the DQ. So it's the DQ, the church, and the car wash that gets you to like SMC in there by Mike's Carpeting.
but there's gonna be a trail connecting Whispering Pines
Mhm.
to,
Yeah.
Going in this year,
okay,
yeah, all the way up 35, all the way to Whispering Pines,
The left side.
correct?
I'd almost rather have you guys on a trail than the side of 35. On a golf.
Yeah,
cart.
would that make people who are out for a walk a little mad?
Probably.
Yeah, but I feel like people that are gonna be using them
So North Hudson
need them.
has a ordinance and they track their registrations, and I feel like there's only 5 that are registered in the entire village, you know, so it's like, I don't know how prevalent it's gonna be, or if it's gonna catch on. But
Do you have a contact at Prescott?
yeah, I do.
Can we
Eric
see how
Michaels
many
is the
they
chief.
have? So, I mean, I know I saw Prescott was listed a few times, so I was like,
It's comparable.
it's this comparable size.
Right,
Comparable.
yeah,
They got a lot of business. It's pretty busy.
It's a very busy main street
Yeah,
right.
all summer long. That is.
like really, I think, seems like, at least when we're out riding.
Mhm.
Would the goal be to like take a golf cart into town to go to the restaurant or a bar or the gas station? Or is it more of like to get around a neighborhood? I
Well,
guess-
My goal would be to drive down to Dairy Queen and buy the kids ice cream.
Sure,
Sure.
You know, as far as going to the bar, I don't partake, so I don't have to worry about that.
right,
But
yeah,
even over here, what's this, River's Edge,
The edgy eats. thing.
Edgy Eats there,
mhm,
I'd like to go down there and, you know, we get food there and.
yeah.
Kids
sodas
can
and
play.
Stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
Mhm. That's that busy highway. Mhm.
I wonder what kind of liability or culpability the village would assume by
Do we need to contact our insurance company?
probably, and maybe whoever.
Guess that's
attorney is.
probably.
Oh, the attorney. Should we start with the attorney?
And like getting the lights to trigger would be a different story too. You know what I mean? Like if, motorcycles already have an issue with that and there's carve outs in the law for exempt some, but.
Yeah, if you sit there for too long, you can go. I only had that happen to me one time and that was in Richmond,
yeah,
you know. Well, I mean, I don't think we're a hard no or anything, but I feel like we need a little bit more input.
so today was put on the agenda as discussion only.
Yeah,
It's given the,
I'm with you, and
right,
we wanna do this right, I don't, you know,
absolutely.
from my side too, I wanna do it right, I don't want Mr. Officer coming up there and giving me a ticket because I didn't do it right. I do respect you, sir, I do, but, you know, we need to do it right.
Yep.
And whatever it takes or whatever, I'm just asking you to pass it somehow, some way, and give me the rules and regulations so I can abide by them.
Okay. Appreciate you coming in.
You know.
But I think, yeah, we'll just, should we put it back on the next month for more discussion or?
We can, but I think in the meantime, someone does have to talk to the attorney on some liability, and we should look into what other communities were doing.
First,
Mhm.
so should we,
I mean, we can add it to the agenda for next time,
yeah, we'll just keep it on,
but someone's gonna have to do some legwork before then.
sure.
Can I say one more thing? You were talking about certain towns that have it, does Baldwin have it?
I don't know off the
And
top of my
Robert?
head.
I don't either.
Chris, do you know?
I don't see those listed, I only did preliminary search though, so.
Okay,
But I did notice that several communities have them registered and they sign a release.
Yeah.
With their municipalities, so that might be a possibility.
What would the
Okay.
release pertain to?
Like an injury, if you were injured using it, that you're taking that, liability
yourself.
Yourself, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly, because certainly we don't want to see anybody get hurt.
no, but you also wanna cover the village too,
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly right.
So,
Mhm,
and I don't blame you there.
mhm. Yeah, and that's another thing that we could talk to Paul about. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we should, so. So we have some more legwork to do on that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you discussing it.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to 6, the municipal clerk. The 2026 budget report. Not much.
It's good to meet.
Me too.
Where is this wages, 4506 and 4507?
that's on mine, we're still on quarter.
They're what?
That's just for the court one.
Oh, sorry, that's,
That's for the.
sorry, my bad. I'm moving too far ahead.
Those are the police officers.
Okay,
But I can address those when we're ready.
I think, do we have to, we don't have to prove these, right, or just receive them?
We're receiving them.
All right. We'll, receive the 2026 budget report.
So are we on this
we're
one?
on your
Yeah,
phone.
we're on the 26 budget report for the police, yes.
So yeah, 4506 is deployed. In the military, and 4507 is in the academy right now.
And then there's like the 02, 03, 04, 05. I just, it's okay, you don't have to, I just, so it's for certain people, basically.
Correct.
Without
Yes.
putting their names here. Okay, that's
Correct.
fine. That works for me.
That is their name pretty much.
That is their name. Yeah, they're known by their numbers.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty good so far, Joel.
Wow, years young.
Yeah, you're young.
For sure. How is, okay, let's make it on here. The truck was moving right along?
Yeah, so we ended up getting a used truck, right, from White Bear Lake, and, it's, being built right now. We're anticipating that to be done, before the end of the month here, and then, we just have to get graphics on it, so.
Sure. Cool. I guess, we'll just move on into your, police chief report.
Sunrise Drive is an active road.
Big time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
For
the
sure.
school's address are, considered Sunrise Drive.
Okay, that, wow.
And then, so our school resource officer does a report for the school board, and that he kind of uses our call for service, our CAD system to track his activity up there, so that's why I see a lot of juvenile complaints on Sunrise Drive.
Okay, that,
you know.
okay. Wow.
You're not the first person to say that.
Wow. Sunrise Drive gets some action.
Oh, yeah.
So is this part of my report, I go into my department activities?
Sure.
So yeah, we got the 2 calls for service, starts in front of you, it was 131 calls for service, in January. And then 140 in, February. We have been receiving some, complaints at the intersection of Churchill Road and Main Street. And I haven't gotten a chance to follow up with you yet, but I have sat out there on a couple different occasions. So the issue is the intersection by Dairy Queen, people coming down the hill from Whispering Pines or wherever they're coming from. And they're turning right to head over the bridge towards Circle K.
It used to be a stop sign there.
Used to be a stop sign.
I saw it's back to a yield.
It's back to a red light.
Oh, it is?
So there's a red light, a yellow light, and then a green arrow. And the green arrow won't trigger unless somebody is heading west on Main Street in the left turn only. And that would trigger an arrow for people turning left onto Churchill. So, when it first got redesigned, there's a lot of confusion there. People would stop and some people would just wait.
A lot of people wait till it turns green.
Yeah. And
I've
people,
sat behind cars and people are going around them.
right.
They're going down the straight and around. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. So, I mean, that caused some confusion. And then for me, like, even from an enforcement standpoint, like, well, how do I know when this person's got a green arrow or not? Especially with me coming off of Parent Street, I'm trying to turn left. These people aren't stopping. Like, do they have a red light? So then there's also a visual obstruction. Like, so if somebody was, going towards Dairy Queen from here, and like, let's say it's a big truck, it would literally block whether or not they have a red light or a green light.
Is that or is that not state?
So yeah, the whole thing's, it's Highway 35, it's a state intersection. I sat there for an hour, one morning, usually before school, 7:30 to 8. And I counted 28 violators in an hour period. And, so that's an issue. I wrote 1 ticket out of it. I parked 1 squad with the camera going, and I walked back to the PD, got a different squad, and was just kind of doing circular patrols through there. I tried sitting there another day and I just couldn't take it. I had to go make a traffic stop. Just based off of these people just blowing through. The one person had just blown through going like towards the fire hall, and like the light was clearly red. I was like, okay, I'm already.
Pretty
inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways,
It happens more than not.
Yeah.
the issue is really the folks turning right. And the question is like, well, what do we do about it? Throughout this process, we've been doing kind of some increased visibility there. I was getting coffee at Circle K and some guy came up to me and he's like, well, what's the deal with this intersection? Are we supposed to stop there? Or I was like, right on red. Yeah, you're supposed to stop, And then like they said, well, the other side of the intersection is a yield. Why is this one a red? And like, I don't know. I'm not the traffic engineer. I'm not the one who designed this. so I brought it up in our last department head meeting. Bob said he was gonna give me a point of contact to talk to from the state, not Andy. Still haven't gotten the point of contact yet. I'm just curious whether or not we should escalate this to the full village board, or if I should see how far I can get with the state, just by me.
Just write all those tickets.
Great tickets, yeah.
People will start stopping. I'm kidding.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I'm open to suggestions. I feel like we brought this up to Andy, the project manager initially. And, it was.
He's a PM though, not an engineer, right?
Okay, yeah, he was the project
So
manager.
it's good, all he was in charge of was ensuring that the project was on course and
Yeah,
everybody was following their contractual alignment. I think it's proper maybe to go to the engineer. There is a safety engineer. Have we looked at the county to talk to them at all about who they communicate with on issues like that?
I know the county was looped into this complaint by the complainant. I just don't know where that went in particular.
We need to get an engineer involved,
Okay,
safety
But-
engineer from the state.
From the state, I was just gonna say, it's gotta be from the state, not from the county, so
No,
we need.
But the county and state might collaborate, kind of like they do with snow plowing, right? The county plows and the state reimburses, so maybe
Okay.
that might be their liaison if they got a county, county safety engineer or if it's all through the state, I don't know. That would be the first place I would go.
okay,
I noticed yesterday there was an accident at exactly that spot,
Yeah.
and so traffic was backed up behind the
Mhm.
police car and the one or two cars that had the accident, so people were doing this to try to get around. It was fun to watch.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think that intersection is fun to watch. Sorry, you couldn't handle it longer than an hour.
So, I was gonna come in here saying like, it's a relatively low accident intersection, and then like.
It just happened.
Sunday, there was a crash there. But there were some other contributing factors to that crash too, that, it's not a normal intersection, and I feel like a yield would almost be more appropriate.
It has always been a yield my whole entire life.
That's what I.
Like, it was a yield. That turn has always been a yield and it
Yeah.
would be beneficial if it was,
Yeah,
but
and it would be consistent with the other side.
yes.
But we need state approval to put a sign there, right?
Well, I think they have to do it.
They
Yeah,
have to
they'd
do it.
yeah.
So,
So we've got to find an engineer.
But we also had a crash that's in that area too now. So
yeah,
now it's definitely a safety. I think we could probably elevate that even more greater that.
They might put a stop sign on the other yield.
You'd be surprised what engineers can do now.
so I just wanted to kind of close the loop on that a little bit, kind of let the rest of the board know that that's something that has been identified as an issue, and I agree it's an issue.
Should we talk to Paul and see what his recommendation might be on something like that? He might have
Sure.
a legal aspect of it. I mean, if it's a safety issue, he might be able to point us in the right direction too.
I'll reach out to Paul, see if I can find a state engineer, and then, I'll CC the county, well, I'll reach out to the county as well. And, I'll keep Bob in the loop.
Okay.
So.
Do we need to call Paul about that? I mean,
Pardon?
do we need to contact Paul for that?
He
I
might,
mean,
just-
if
he might be able to help us find someone
Yeah, for a price. I mean,
true.
I mean, if we're trying to get a point of contact at the state, I mean,
I think it was more the legal matter is what I was referring to, Mr. Chairman, is that if there's a safety issue and it's become a legal issue, he might be able to cite specific, state law that would require the state
to change it.
to change it. That's what I was referring to, because right now we're kind of in a conundrum. We can't effectuate any
Sure.
change on it, and if they choose not to do it, the only way we can legally do it is by
That way.
through the state.
But do you think we should try to do that beforehand, before we get to that point?
I think it's worth,
I mean, if we could try to contact them and then if they blow us off, then,
and you can do it one of two ways. You can start on your end, it's up to you guys. But I'm just making that a suggestion because for a couple $100, you might be able to get the ball rolling just by
Sure.
saying, you know what? I had this in New Richmond and they had a problem and we went, and this is the state statute and and the police chief took care of it and it was all done, you know, so.
Would you rather do that, don't you?
No, I can think as far as I can go and,
Or
Yeah.
would you wanna just contact Paul and see what?
Yeah.
He has to,
yeah, we'll figure it out.
okay,
I got the blessing to call Paul.
sure.
Yeah. You got the blessing to contact a lot of people to change it.
I know.
So yeah, so we're working on 3 grants right now. We just got approved, Wisconsin DOJ, a drug, response grant. Half of it's, training and the other half's more for like, testing, evidence, kits type stuff. I want to say it was 8,000, that we were approved for. Jared Kerber, put in for that one and we were awarded that. I submitted the radio grant. That would be a huge one. That's part of that, switching, to the dual band 800 megahertz deal. Still haven't heard. There's 2 other agencies in the county that put in for that too. They haven't heard yet either. And then this,
Do you have timer or anything?
no timeline. If we do get awarded, we purchase, before the end of the year.
Sure.
And then body worn camera grant. So we're still using this first generation camera from G-Tech. These reached end of life a year or 2 ago.
Yeah.
We're just kind of kicking the can. And ideally, we get selected for this grant. We were still planning on re-upping our program at the end of the year where we get the new generation cameras and be refreshed for another 5 years. That was part of my 5-year plan that I presented for the capital improvements budget. But that would certainly be 8,000-ish. That
So
would
to
help
help
towards
out with
that.
that.
Yeah. So, there's a couple of trainings over the last couple of months. We went down to the Dells with the school district. It was, an active threat integrated response training. Really good training. One of the main focus that we partnered with the school with is on, reunification. And, I feel like we've had some really productive meetings before, during and after, that training, and we're still, kind of growing, on that front. So yeah, EATI's just finishing the F-150 build. We have a conditional offer out to, Owen. Things are progressing in the hiring process with him. We're trying to get him reserved for an academy spot, in June, for June.
No, it's still in the academy.
Noah's still in the academy, doing well. That's about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Super. Does have any other questions for him?
Nope.
Move on to police and court bills.
I feel like I looked at,
Yeah, we kind of.
I mean, it feels different from the budget, I guess, maybe.
Bills get approved.
Yes.
The
Well, I
budget-
don't see any bills in
I
here.
think it's reviewed.
I just saw the budget. I didn't see any bills.
I don't see him either.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Andrea is on vacation, so.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not getting responses to my emails.
Give her some grace. She should have an automatic bias.
She should, but she doesn't.
Okay.
Okay.
It's even either. Let's see, there's.
Well, we'll
All right, we'll have to.
take a look at that next month.
Mhm.
We just table it to,
Table till
Table.
next month.
no, to the board meeting.
Oh, so,
We just table it to the board meeting.
okay. Table to the board meeting then?
It won't go on the consent agenda, though. It has to go on the discussion agenda.
Yes.
Okay, so a motion is to put the police and court bills on the discussion agenda for the full board meeting.
Full board. Is that a motion?
Yeah.
All right, I'll second it. First and second on the table, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Do you guys have anything else to add on that? All
Future
right.
agenda item.
Yeah, future agenda items,
Just the liquor process, the
Okay.
liquor ordinances.
liquor process.
And
Golf carts.
Oh, yes.
Golf carts, pea soup, everything we discussed goes on future agenda.
You can feed and forget the liquor, just don't forget that golf cart.
Alright. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
First and second on the table, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Done for